In the recent videos on Denis Cyplenkov and Body Mania YouTube channels, Denis was talking about not being able to work it out to compete at the Siberian Power Show. It was like a missed opportunity for him. And if I understood his words correctly, I think he was talking about not being able to work out things in terms of getting arrangements done or coming to an agreement with the promoters if he can find a worthy opponent or not, and not really about whether he can get ready for the event or not. But still, Siberian Power Show is like 4 weeks from now. I'm not really sure how strong Denis could have gotten if he decided to compete there. But even now, even in this shape, I think Dadikian and Vitali may be the only two guys who regularly compete there, who regularly practice there, that Denis won't be able to deal with. So I think he could have competed against anyone basically. I would have loved to see him go up against Zaur Pezulaev. If Zaur is also not training, at least not at a very serious level, then him versus Denis could have been a good match. But if he's training, then I think he will be too much for Denis Cyplenkov. It looks like Denis brought this new machine into his gym and he likes working out with it. So Denis was arm wrestling this guy and he had a good King's move. Maybe not a very strong one, but his angle looked pretty solid. And it was cool to see Denis slowly climbing through the King's move. It looked more like the guy himself gave his wrist when he decided to stand up and go for the press. I would have loved to see him fight more in that pronated position instead of trying to jump into a flop press and lose his wrist. But it looked like Michael Todd versus Denis Cyplenkov super match. So even though it was like almost 2 minutes into their practice pull, but it was still cool to see Denis getting a high grip on someone's hand in a serious practice pull. Denis did talk about some triceps pain and his inability to press, and that was seen. He was like visibly in pain after the match. He couldn't go for the press. We have not really seen Denis Cyplenkov press that much like ever. He did it sometimes against Andrei Pushkar and I think one time against Arsen Liliev, but he very rarely utilized that move. And now it's not available to him anymore. So the guys who are really difficult to finish without a press can be a big problem for Denis. Denis said that in his training sparrings on the table, just like the one we just saw, he likes to not attack on his opponents or his training partners, but he likes to work on his own endurance to get into better positions. He doesn't really get a thrill or a sensation by pinning his training partners fast. He likes to work with them on the table and make them tired. But isn't it the exact opposite of what he mentioned after losing to Devon Larratt? Didn't he say that he will work on his aggressiveness, on his speed, on his ready goes more? And now he's talking about being even more defensive than before. Anyways, Denis said that he's trying to reach his maximum peak. He's trying to do everything he can to get there. But still, he will be working with light weights only. He won't be overloading with weights. He won't risk an injury by doing that. There was a question about Prime Denis versus Levan Saginashvili. So the answer, the translation wasn't really accurate or wasn't really enough to make me understand what he was trying to say. But Denis Cyplenkov's smile, the look on his face said it all. He believes that he can stop this match. And he was talking about who stops who or something like that. So I think Denis believes that there was a chance that he could have done something against Levan Saginashvili in his prime. And by the way, to end this video, what is this treatment? Just watch the video.
Денис, МРТ будешь делать? Когда МРТ будет, да?
So when I watch stuff like this, there are two thoughts that come to my mind. The first one is, just because you may be getting these collaborations for free with these doctors, I think we can call him a doctor or a physiotherapist, it doesn't really mean you have to do everything in the world just because it's free and a kind of a mutual collaboration between the two. But then the second thought is, Denis Cyplenkov loves arm wrestling so much that he's willing to try everything to get back in shape, even if it doesn't make sense like this one. He's so desperate to make a comeback. He's so much in love with arm wrestling that he wants to do anything he can to get back on the table. And I hope that this second scenario is the real true one. Thanks for watching, like the video, and I'll see you again.